Yo, it is Ian Lives, and welcome to the first episode of my podcast, Ian Dies, which, I know it says a horror podcast, but I might try everything. I might dabble with everything. I wanted to try this ever since I started my channel, and why not kick it off right now? Um, I'm kind of winging it. It's a little scuffed. I hope it's not terrible. This is my first time ever trying something like this. And let me know your guys' thoughts down below. I really want to know your guys' opinion down below because why not start off the podcast, like kick everything off by making people mad, you know? Because I like doing that. I thought it would be cool to do a whole episode about my horror movie hot takes. Just some hot takes I have. I have a whole list on my phone I'm going to go through. And I thought this would be fun. It's a good way to talk about things I haven't talked about yet on the channel. Mainly, I want to really focus on horror franchises and like some franchises that I might like a certain movie the best out of all of them that most people don't like the best. And obviously, there's some hot takes out there that I can't participate in because I haven't seen the movies yet. Like the whole Shining and Doctor Sleep debate. I've not seen Doctor Sleep yet. I need to. But once I watch Doctor Sleep, maybe I can hop on the train. So um just think of this as like a very long video that I would do. That's unedited and you don't see my handsome face, okay? Just think of it like that. Um I want to start off with probably my hottest take. Why not start off making people mad off the bat, you know? Um the Halloween franchise has a very strong fan base. I would say out of most of the main horror franchises, like the core four, I would say Halloween, um, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, and maybe like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I guess you could throw in there. The core four, or maybe Child's Play. Maybe that franchise is as a franchise is better known than TCM. Um, the core four, I would say Halloween has the most harsh fan base. You're wrong about anything, they pretty much throw you to the ground, and then spit on you while you're on the ground. But this is probably my hottest take because usually when people say, like what their favorite like Halloween movie is in the franchise, they usually say one or two, or even like Halloween 4 or 3. Um, but mine out of all of them, my favorite Halloween movie is Halloween 5. Um, I always mix it up. That's The Revenge, right? Halloween 5 is The Revenge, right? Yep, The Revenge of Michael Myers. This is my favorite Halloween movie, and it's most people's least favorite. And I kind of want to elaborate on everything. Um, First of all, I think the best in the franchise, on a technical level, is definitely the original. It's one of the best horror movies and slashers ever made. Um, I feel like everyone has said that. I'm not saying that this one is better than the original. I'm saying I enjoy it more. I enjoy this one more than any of them. Um, I think it has the perfect mix of comedy. There's some like laugh out loud moments in here, like the cops. The cops have this stupid, goofy music instrumental on them whenever they show up on the screen. It's just dumb. Um, that's probably my least favorite thing about the whole movie, to be honest. And then there's also like elements like the girl, her name's Jamie, right? I need to be better with names. I'm not good with names. You guys should all know that. Jamie, she's a mute in this movie. She doesn't talk until like the very end. Um, which people find annoying. I think the main debate are the two main girls. I think is like the main debate with 4 and 5. And I have an even hotter take for 4, maybe. Um, but the big debate is Rachel or Tina. Tina was like the new one in 5, and a lot of people find her to be really annoying. And they're like, I miss Rachel. Dude, Rachel's not all that. I just want to throw that out there. I never like Rachel's fine. She's not a bad character. It's not one of those characters where I'm like, damn, they did a good performance, or damn, that was such a good final girl. No, not really. I'm glad they got rid of her in 5. And to be completely honest, Tina is just better. She's a better character. She's funny. She's outlandish. There's really good scenes with her, especially with her and Loomis. Loomis is like on crack in part 5. Not literally. I think he was like he had an alcohol problem. The actor did. That's what the actress of Jamie said in an interview, and it makes sense. He's just like really loud in this movie. He has some really funny dialogue. Might be one of my favorite characters in that movie. Um, I love Loomis in 5. But anyways, staying back on topic, you got the Cookie Woman. That's one of my favorite parts of this whole movie. It's hilarious. And Loomis is like, the Cookie Woman! I know, what's a Cookie Woman? Dude, he's so aggressive to that little girl. And I love it, dude. I absolutely love it. The chemistry between Jamie and the other little kid, Billy, is really nice. It's really sweet. I just love that whole setting where she's at that like is it a mental, it's not a mental institution. I don't know the right word to use, but she's at that place, and I think it's just it's a great setting. It yeah, I don't know. I love Halloween 5. I don't want to dwell on it too much longer. Um yeah, the mask. The mask I will say is kind of goofy. It has its own charm to it, but it is kind of goofy. The kills are another thing that they're not really extremely memorable. You don't really remember a lot of them. The only one that comes off to the top of my head is like with the scythe and everything, when he has the scythe. That's what really pops to my head. Um, but yeah, I mean, and also the scene where he's wearing that weird ass mask that the boyfriend had, and then he pretends to be him with Tina. That's a great segment. That's a great, not segment. It's a great scene. Um, it's scary. It's nerve wracking. So there's my first hot take, which some would say is my hottest, and that is Halloween 5 is my favorite of the whole franchise. It's not the best, but it's my favorite, and I will probably live by that for a long time. I've kind of made it my personality. So moving on. We have a lot of time to kill. I'm trying to make this podcast a little less than an hour, maybe. Um, Night of the Living Dead, not Return of the Living Dead, but Night of the Living Dead, the original George A. Romero one. I wanted to talk about just a little bit because I just recently watched it. The one from 1968, was not huge on it. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I'm okay on it. I think it's extremely boring. I know I have to put it at the standards of the time, right? Of when it came out. 1968. And I wasn't alive then, obviously, so I don't know how much big of a deal it was. I know it was a big deal, but I don't really know how much of a big deal it was. I wish there was more gore. Again, I know it was a different time period. Okay? I'm trying to, like, say stuff, but I know someone can just make that a comeback every time. I understand. I completely understand that. But yeah, I don't know. Like after like the first part where they're in the graveyard, was not feeling it. They go in that little house with the other characters. It's very fun. It's a lot of fun. But then you don't see zombies. There's not a lot of zombies in here. Like you don't see zombies at all for a big chunk of this movie. Like that whole middle section, there's like no zombies. And yeah. I don't know. I figured that I would be bored by this, to be honest, because it was black and white. I usually do okay with black and white movies. I'm not like a snob that can't watch them. It's just it having no color is boring. So I watched the version that was in color. They had it on Tubi, and it looked fine. And yeah, that might have made me enjoy it more, but it's slow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. I don't see how that movie could get such a big audience today. I feel like that's like um a movie snob's horror movie. You know, not like a horror fan's horror movie. A lot of like movie critics I feel like love that movie. And it's weird to me. It is weird to me because I don't know, it's not that it doesn't have quality. I really don't know how to explain it. I'm not huge on that movie, Return of the Living Dead. Or not Return of the Living Dead, sorry. Night of the Living Dead. There you go. A lot of Living Deads. But Night of the Living Dead from 1968, I'm not huge on. Moving on to a hot take that I was gonna save, because this will be in my January ranking where I rank everything I watched in January. But this month I watched Creepshow 1 and 2 for the first time. I know, I'm late. And I thought I would just say this in this podcast and get it over with. But Creepshow 2 is obviously better than Creepshow 1. It kind of, I won't say it blows it out the water, because I gave them the same score. I both gave them 4 out of 5. But on Letterboxd, I gave part 2 a little orange heart, just to show that I like it a little more. I think the segments are way better. There's some good segments in Creepshow 1, you know. There's a lot of good segments. I think the cast in Creepshow 1 is better. Um, I mean, you got Leslie Nielsen, which Something to Tide You Over is my favorite, probably, of that movie. I really like The Crate. It's okay. Father's Day is fun, but it's just okay. Um, the Lonesome Death of whatever, I'm not huge on that at all. And then I think that's it. But Creepshow, it's too long. The original Creepshow, I think, is 2 hours flat, which is way too long for an anthology. I feel like that's where anthologies nowadays struggle as well. During my Christmas ranking, I was gonna check out Death December, which is a anthology movie, but that shit was like almost 3 hours long. And I've noticed that with a lot of anthologies, that they're that long. They're like 2.5 hours. I'm like, Jesus, man, this is long. Um, and Creepshow 1 is long for an anthology. I feel like anthologies, if you're gonna make it long, um, you got to make the segments longer. Creepshow 1 has the most segments, I think, out of the three. I know I'm including Creepshow 3. Creepshow 3 might have more segments. I think it does, but Creepshow 2, which I think is way better, only runs at 90 minutes. Which I'm not usually picky with runtimes. I'm not like, oh, I can't watch a movie over 60 or 80 minutes. I'm not usually like that, but Creepshow's 120 minutes and it has no reason being that long. Creepshow 2 is 90 minutes. I think that's the perfect length for it. It's quick, it's fast. There's only 3 segments, I believe. Yeah, there's 3 segments. And Old Chief Woodenhead, is my least favorite of Creepshow 2, but I still like it. The Raft is my favorite segment out of all the Creepshows. I've not seen the show. I'm interested in the show, the TV show. I'm interested in that. And I have Shudder, so I could watch that. But The Raft is my favorite. It felt like a goosebump. All these feel like goosebump episodes, but I think The Raft felt the most like that. It's goofy. It's campy. It's 80s as hell. The Raft is such an 80s time capsule, where they're on this raft in the lake, and there's like this sludge coming after them. It has great effects as well. And then you have The Hitchhiker, which is really good as well. Probably my second favorite of the whole franchise. I love The Hitchhiker. My favorite character in all of the Creep shows has to be Annie Lansing. I love Annie Lansing. That character is amazing. And it's just so fun. She's so fun. So yeah, Creepshow 2 is better than Creepshow. Moving on. I talked about this in the video I just recorded. My favorite horror movie scenes. Um, which I don't know if it's out yet, but it should be out by the time this comes out. Sleepaway Camp, the original one, is my favorite movie of all time. Which I said this in that video, I always feel weird saying that, only because it's so weird that I like that one more than any other slasher. Um, like, especially, it's just your typical slasher on a campground, but you have a damn good twist. You have an amazing cast, um, especially Angela. Again, I'm not good with names. I know her name too, and it's driving me nuts that I can't think of it. Felissa Rose. Felissa Rose. I mean, this just started her career. One of my favorite little like behind the scenes things is the sleepaway camp one at the waterfront after the social. It comes with the Scream Factory Blu-ray, so if you have that, please watch that. It's really good. But anyway, the Sleepaway Camp is my favorite slasher. It's my favorite horror movie. It's my favorite movie, and it's my favorite summertime movie as well. Um, I thought I would throw that in. I don't know if it's considered a hot take, but Sleepaway Camp. It's just great. There's amazing scenes. It's a lot of fun. I showed it to my niece. She's 7, and she liked it a lot. She thought it was Judy. She thought the killer was Judy. I knew who the killer was. It was just like the main twist at the end, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Sleepaway Camp, besides one scene where you got that creepy chef guy who's trying to get onto Angela. Besides that scene, I feel like Sleepaway Camp is a good gateway into horror, for kids or young teenagers, like tweens. I feel like it's a good gateway. Continuing on the Sleepaway Camp train, I have another one on here that I thought I would talk about. I wanted to bring up the sequels, and I honestly think Sleepaway Camp 3 is better than Sleepaway Camp 2. I really like Sleepaway Camp 3. It's condensed, it's very simple. You have stupid dialogue. It's just fun. It's dumb fun. And you have better characters in 2. Definitely. Um what is her name? The actress, again, I'm blanking on an actress's name. What's new? Pamela Springsteen is even better in 3 than in 2. Um, 3 is great. 3 is great. I love Snowboy. Snowboy is a fantastic character. He's like during like the punk rock era of the 80s. Or not really punk rock. It was more like I didn't mean punk rock. Like the hair metal. Hair metal era. And he's got the leather jacket and the blonde hair. I think he might have even had a mohawk or some shit. I have not seen Return to Sleepaway Camp or Sleepaway Camp Survivor, so I don't know how bad those are. But Sleepaway Camp 2 is fun. It's fine. It's a fine movie. But Sleepaway Camp 3, I like it a lot. Okay? I feel like watching it now. I might watch all those again. I was waiting to watch Sleepaway Camp again until the summertime, but I might have to fold. I wanted to bring this up. This isn't really a hot take, but I put it on my list. The big debate of the Blob versus the Stuff. I answered this actually in one of my videos. I don't remember which one. I honestly think the Blob is... I like the Blob more than the Stuff. The Stuff is a better movie. It's a better movie. It's an amazing movie. I would rather watch The Blob, though. It's a lot more fun. So, yeah. I thought I would just say that real quick. I don't know if it's a hot take or not, but I prefer The Blob over The Stuff. So, yeah. The next one is a hot take that I've actually been seeing. It's getting colder and colder of a take. I feel like some people are agreeing with me more and more, and I've been seeing this a lot. The original Hills Have Eyes from 1977. I don't think it's a good movie by any means. And no, I'm not the only one. So maybe this isn't considered a hot take anymore. It's so slow. Like, come on. I don't want to sound too ADHD, which I have terrible ADHD, but usually I can deal with it. But this movie is beyond slow. There's so much there's so much time where nothing happens. Um and I wasn't even really that interested in it. I wasn't that interested in the story or the characters. Um like honestly, I really don't know what else to say. It's forgettable for me. I'm not a huge fan of The Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes 2 I have not seen. I heard it's like stupid and but fun. So I'll probably like that one more. Knowing me, knowing how I am. But there's my take on The Hills Have Eyes. Um, Not a fan. I've also heard the same thing about. I haven't seen this movie, but people with Wes Craven, they say that they love how Wes Craven like his later movies, but his earlier movies really don't age well. Um, which again, I haven't seen all of his work, so I don't know how true that is. But I know a lot of people they like to talk about. Um, what movie was that? Last House on the Left. They bring that one up with Hills Have Eyes a lot when the whole debate of it's a bad movie. That whole conversation. There's a lot of people that think The House on the Left is a bad movie, the original. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of The Hills Have Eyes. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Next up, moving on. I wanted to talk about X and Pearl. I felt like I kind of had to. Well, I didn't have to, but I wanted to really. This opinion will probably change in a couple of years, honestly. And again, I don't know how hot of a take these are because these movies are quite new. Um, I watched X whenever it hit on demand back in 2022, so probably that summer. Um, and I liked it a lot. Um, Now you have to go in my shoes. I wasn't a huge horror guy back then. I didn't even touch the base of horror in 2022. I saw X before I've seen Texas Chainsaw, the original one. Um, I saw X before that, so it was kind of a new concept. I really liked it. I liked it a lot actually. It was awkward watching it with my parents. I'll tell you that much. There's nothing more awkward than watching X with your family. Um, Maybe something like Human Centipede, but watching X with your family, it's not pleasant. But it's a good movie. My parents liked it too. Then I watched Pearl whenever the Blu-ray came out. I got the Walmart exclusive Blu-ray with the alternate cover because maybe this is another hot take, but I don't like the original Pearl cover where she's in front of the X or whatever. I don't like that cover. I like the one where she's in the clothesline. And I also like the one with where it shows her with the axe and then her head and she's doing like her hands on her chin. I like that one too. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Whenever Pearl came out and I watched it on Blu-ray, I liked it more than X. But more and more as time goes on, I watch X more and more and more. I've seen Pearl 3 times. I've seen X 4 times, I think. X gets better and better and better every single time I watch it. And it got even better after I saw Texas Chainsaw. It made me appreciate it so much more. X is one of the best. Um, I guess it's a slasher. Not really. It's not really a slasher. Um, it's for me. It's on board with Hereditary for being the best A24 movie. It's one of the best movies of the 2020s so far. Might be one of my favorite horror movies of the 2020s if Barbarian didn't exist, because I love Barbarian. Um, I could make a whole podcast episode talking about Barbarian. So right now, as I stand, I'm saying X is better than Pearl. Um, as a movie, I'm not saying I like it better. I'm saying it is better. So this one, I might get fought on. I like and I also think it's better. I also like it better, but it's hard to explain. Whatever. Pearl's a great movie though. One of the best endings. And yeah, it was just a crazy story. But I like X more. I just like it more. The next one, I don't know. Again, I don't know how hot of a take this is because I didn't really explore it. Getting into the horror genre, really. Um, I was recommended Maniac Cop a lot, and it had Bruce Campbell in it and Tom Atkins, right? Dude, I apologize. My mind is like not always the best, you know. Um, yeah, Tom Atkins. Um, and I watched it, and I'm okay on it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm in the middle, and I sometimes feel like I'm on an island because I know a lot of people that love this movie, and I'm just okay on it. Um, it's a mess. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be a slasher or a crime movie or an action movie. So it tries to merge it all, and it doesn't really work. It doesn't work for me. Um, I loved the first like 30 minutes where it's slasher, full on slasher. I like that a lot. And then they go action movie, and I'm not a huge action movie guy, so it lost me again. And then the whole final act is like full on action movie, and I was like, Jesus, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling it. Bruce Campbell's great in it. Tom Atkins is great in it. What's the guy's name? Robert Zadar was amazing as the Maniac Cop. Um, so I'll give it that. I'll give it that. I have not seen the sequels. I've not seen the Maniac Cop sequels. I know there's two of them, but I'm excited too. I heard that they're fun, so I'm just assuming that I'm gonna like them more. But Maniac Cop is okay. Is that a hot take? I don't know. Let me know. Another one I kind of felt like I was obligated to talk about when talking about hot takes. You know, um, the Rob Zombie Halloween movies are ones that kind of jump to the top of my mind because the first Rob Zombie Halloween was the first Halloween movie I remember watching. Believe it or not, it came out in '07. I was born in '06. Um, there's actually a funny story. My mom took my brother to see that movie in theaters because she thought it was just gonna be like a normal horror movie, you know, and not super graphic. I don't know what she was thinking, to be honest. He was like 9 or 8, and yeah, I don't know. I thought that was funny, but yeah, my mom really likes the Rob Zombie Halloween remake, and we owned it on DVD. I'd always see the cover. I asked her if we could watch it together. We watched it together, and at the time, I liked it. I was young. I was maybe 10, 11, and I thought it was good. After seeing, it wasn't my first Halloween movie then. The more I think about it, because I remember seeing 4 and 5 and 1 when I was really real young. So never mind. Scratch that. I even said that. Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 is good. It's good. I think that it's kind of hard for me to say that it's good, and I'm finally coming around to it. Because the beginning, even though it's annoying, I still have kind of a soft spot for it. I don't think we needed to know Michael's backstory. I do still think that that was unnecessary. Um, what else? I really like this scene at the school when Michael kills the bully. Amazing scene. Such a great scene. I also really like... I mean, that's about like all. I don't like the RAPE scene, which I know you can avoid by watching the theatrical cut. I do. Even though it's hard as shit to even watch that. You gotta like buy like a Blu-ray from Canada, which I might do eventually. Anyways, after that, I don't know if this is a hot take to say. I haven't even gone to the hot take yet. I'm just talking about the Rob Zombie movies. Um, After the beginning, it's just a rehash of the original. It's a beat for beat remake. It just is. It just is. It's a beat for beat remake. Halloween 2, I sat through completely for the first time the last Halloween season. So October 23. I really like Halloween 2. I like it more than Rob Zombie's 1. It's my fourth favorite in the whole franchise, I believe. Yeah. I love that movie. It's such a good slasher. There's my hot take. I like Halloween 2. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Um, it's such a good slasher. They mix in these like white horse things, which I know a lot of people said was too weird for him. I really liked that. They Rob Zombie tried something different. I think we all have to accept that. He tried something different. I think it worked. You have to try something different with the Halloween franchise. This is why I say I think the Halloween franchise is some of the most bitter people out there. Because they want them to do the same thing every single movie. It makes me mad. Like Halloween Ends. I'm okay on Halloween Ends. I think it's okay. The amount of people that wanted the same thing that they got from Kills and 18 are crazy. Like, why? They tried something different. Anyways, I like Halloween 2. Rob Zombies. I like it. There's some of the best kills in the franchise are in that movie. That Octavia Spencer kill, oh my god, it's brutal. It is brutal. And I don't find it to be goofy. I found the first Rob Zombie Halloween to be really goofy. Like with his dad being this like loudmouth guy who cusses every second. Or Danny Trejo being like, I was good to you, Mikey. I always thought that was corny. It's not as goofy. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is not as goofy. So yeah, there's my hot take. I like Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I think it's really good. I give it a 4 out of 5. This next one might give me some slack. Or some flack, I guess, not slack. Some flack. Orphan First Kill. I said this in a DVD haul, I think, when I got Orphan on DVD. I despise Orphan First Kill. I hate that movie. I feel like I'm the only one that absolutely hates it. The lowest I see people go is saying that it's okay. There's some people that like it way more than the first one, which is crazy. I really like the first one. I think it's overrated, but I really do like the first one. But First Kill is so stupid. I hate in horror movies when the main like character that's not like the villain or slasher villain. I hate when the main character teams up with the bad guy. It's not realistic, especially in Orphan First Kill. She figures out that this isn't actually her daughter who went missing years ago. And she decides to work with her so that the husband doesn't find out. Which is fine. I mean, it's a decent concept. It goes on way too long. It's not realistic. If it was realistic, they would have dropped that off a long time ago. I'm just saying. But even that, the acting is so terrible. I couldn't take any of it seriously. That mom, no shade to the actress, but she did not do a good job in that movie. Acting-wise, I thought she was terrible in that movie. I like the dad character. He was a good actor. But yeah, I don't know. No, it didn't work for me. They're making a third one. If the third one is better, see, I don't know what they're going to do with the third one. Is it going to take place after First Kills, but before Orphan, or is it going to take place after Orphan? The first one. I'm curious. I'm curious on that. I hope they do it after Orphan. I'm still interested to see what they deliver, but yeah, Orphan First Kill, I hate that movie. I know hate's a strong word, but I really think that's the right words to use. I don't like that movie. I'm being serious. The next up is I would consider a hot take. Going back on the Rob Zombie train, tooting Rob Zombie's horns just a little bit. I wanted to talk about the Firefly trilogy. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. House of a Thousand Corpses is my least favorite out of all of those. I don't like House of a Thousand Corpses. I know. There's no charm to it. Even for a Rob Zombie movie, I find no charm into it. It's just annoying. If I want to see an annoying family capture people and eat them, I'm gonna watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. I feel like House of a Thousand Corpses is similar to the TCM remake. Um, Character wise, kind of. Maybe not. Maybe I'm pushing it, but it's obviously it's very 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 inspired by TCM. It's pretty much like beat for beat. It's plagiarism, pretty much. House is pretty much plagiarism. But the whole ending with the bunny suit, dude, it's just weird. It's annoying. Um, but Devil's Rejects, I love Devil's Rejects. I really like Devil's Rejects. Um, the humor is the best out of. It's my favorite Rob Zombie movie so far. I haven't seen all of his movies, but it's my favorite so far. Um, Obviously that one guy, Bill Moseley, he's a dick, but he has some of the best jokes in Devil's Rejects. Um, it's such a great movie. It's a road trip horror movie where you're on a road trip with these like just messed up people, and it's a lot of fun. I love Devil's Rejects. And then Three from Hell I think is okay. It's in between. I prefer it over House. I'm sorry, but yeah, there you go. I also wanted to talk about some remakes. I think there's two. They're both getting Scream Factory 4Ks, which is weird, but I'm not mad because I like both of these movies. I want the Carrie 2013 remake. Again, I talked about this in my favorite horror scenes video as well. But the Carrie 2013 remake, I think, does a damn good job for, you know, for the era that it came out, 2013, all those stupid ass remakes like Prom Night. Is that what it's called? That's what it's called, right? Prom Night? Yeah, Prom Night. That Prom Night remake is so bad. The one with Idris Elba, terrible movie. Anyways, during that era, remakes were falling off. They were terrible. But Carrie, they chewed it. They chewed it up. I think they did a damn good job, remake wise. Does it compare to the original? No. But I do think it's a good movie. And I feel the same way about Child's Play 2019. I really, really, really like Child's Play 2019. My least favorite thing about it is Mark Hamill as Chucky, which is devastating, but and also the look of Chucky is terrible with the little like comb over. But I think it's a good movie. Another weak part is the acting. But I really enjoyed how they focused on the kids grouping together to stop Chucky. Um, they did end up doing that in the show. But this was like the first movie where they did that, where they have the kids group together to go beat Chucky. I thought it was amazing. That the final act of Child's Play 2019 is amazing. I really like both those remakes, the Carrie and the Child's Play one. Again, I don't know how much of a hot take those are, but I thought I would just mention it. We don't have much time left because I was planning on doing this for 50 minutes, but I want to talk about this. I wanted to talk about something that wasn't horror movie related, but still horror related with actors. And this is a hot take that I've been coming up with. I've been brewing it for some time. And that is that Justin Long's horror movie comeback is better than Nicolas Cage's horror movie comeback. Justin Long has been coming back in the horror movie game. Obviously, he was in Jeepers Creepers. And then he was in Barbarian. And then he was in It's a Wonderful Knife. And then he was in Tusk. He was in another one too. I swear he was. Goosebumps show, which I didn't really care for. And I didn't care for It's a Wonderful Knife, but Nicolas Cage has Mandy, which I'm not huge on Mandy. I won't go into it. Willy's Wonderland, which I also don't like. But there's more. There's more. But I prefer Justin Long as an actor, and I think his horror comeback is better than Nicolas Cage's. Let me know your thoughts on that take in the comments below. Um, Moving on, this might be the last one that I have time for. I have 10 minutes left on this. Ash vs. Evil Dead is the best thing in the Evil Dead franchise. The TV show I like more than any of the movies, which might be a hot take. That show is so damn good, though. All the seasons get better and better and better as they go along. I wish they kept it going. I really do. I said this in a video previously, but I am here for another TV series of Evil Dead, even if it follows a different group of characters. I'm here for it. I really like Ash versus Evil Dead. I love it. I like it all. I like it more than all the original trilogy. I like it more than 2013, and I like it more than 2022. So, I really don't know what else to say. I mean, the characters in the Evil Dead TV show are so damn good. Pablo, what's her name? Kelly. So damn good. I love that show. It's hilarious too. It's so funny. I'm glad they went more of the comedic route. I feel like it's on the comedy level as like Army of Darkness. Because it's never really like serious. Like the more I think about it, that show's never like serious. But maybe I have one more time for one more. What about A Nightmare on Elm Street? Let's talk about that just like a little bit. My least favorite of that franchise is Freddy's Dead, I would say. My favorite is 2. Don't know if that's a hot take. But I think part 4 is the second best in the franchise. Or third best. Third best. I would say it would go 2, 1, 4, 3. 4 grows on me so damn much. I was okay on it, I think, at best when I first watched it. It is growing on me very, very steadily. I honestly think it's the most fun out of the whole franchise. I get the most fun out of that movie than the whole entire franchise. Another thing is, I feel like they execute the whole dream thing the best in part 4. Part 4 is when they're at that diner and it keeps looping over and over and over, I believe. And I think that was a great scene. That movie feels like it's a dream. Nightmare 4 feels like a dream. And I love it for that. I really like 4 a lot. Great characters. You got the nerdy girl. I like the high school dynamics. I want to watch it now. I do want to watch it now. I wasn't the biggest fan of how they pretty much disintegrated everything that Dream Warriors ended on. All the characters die within the first 10 minutes. Maybe not 10 minutes, but 30 minutes of 4. Which is unfortunate. They recast the main girl. From what the hell was her name? Hang on. Alice. They recast Alice. I think, right? Don't they recast Alice? They do recast Alice. Because who was Alice in 3? Sorry. It was. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I'm wrong. I was thinking of Kristen. Kristen? I mean, aren't they the same character though? Or am I tripping? Anyways, I feel like I'm tripping. Oh, Alice is the other girl. I'm getting confused. Sorry. I can't edit this. It's a podcast. I'm getting confused. Because Kristen is Tuesday night and 4, so she was recasted. Alice was the other chick. That was... Okay, I remember now. Never mind. But yeah, 4 I think is a damn good movie, and I just want to get that out there. So that was the first episode of my podcast, Ian Dies, which, if you guys don't know, that's the opposite of Ian Lives. I was trying to think of a name. Ian Dies came to the top of my head. I like the little logo too. It's supposed to look like a Blockbuster sticker with the skull, and this is a horror podcast. But that was the first episode of my podcast called The Hottest Takes. The Hottest Horror Takes, I think is what I'm going to call it. Please leave comments down below. I want to argue. I want to argue. I want to know your guys' opinions on my takes. Let me know how I did for my first ever podcast episode. And I'm excited to start this journey, man. I'm excited to start this podcast. It felt like this was the best way for me to say a lot of horror opinions without being too limited, because when I'm recording a video, I don't usually want it to go over 25 minutes, and I also have to edit it. So not only does this save me time, because I can just record it and then maybe re-listen to it, and I don't have to edit it. It saves me time, but it's also like just a good way for me to not vent, because I'm not venting. But yeah, I don't know, just just to talk movies, to be nerdy, to get my nerd out, you know? Um, so yeah, I just started up a podcast. I know it's scuffed, but that's going to do it for me. This was the first episode of Ian Dies. I'm excited. Maybe in the far, far future, I'll even have collaborations during this podcast. Follow my Instagram at IanLives_. We just hit 800 followers on there, which is crazy. We're on the road to 1,000. Follow my Letterboxd at wehateian. I put a lot of time into my Letterboxd, and it would mean me a lot. It would mean a lot to me if you guys show support on there, and also subscribe to the channel that you're watching on right now. Subscribe and hit that bell. It means a shit ton to me. It really does. We're almost at 30 subs, I believe, which is crazy. I appreciate all you guys, and I will see you later. Peace.